everyone, Rachel White here. We're going to be talking about the next step of the home buying process, which is getting your ducks in a row and pretty much everything that you kind of need to get into order before your closing date. You need to select your home insurance. If you have a mortgage, a traditional financing situation, you are going to need home insurance in order to close. That's something that they require. So do some shopping around, find a good rate, but ultimately select and purchase your home insurance before closing. If you have an HOA, be aware of any kind of requirements that they may have before your closing. If there's a fee or a questionnaire, different things, each association is different, but just be mindful that if you do have an association, there might be things that they need you to do. Make sure you're planning for furniture. If you need to take measurements, if you need to order your furniture, anything like that, that would be something to kind of think about before you move in. And you might even be able to set up another showing to be able to go in and take measurements, but you can also do that during your home inspection as well. Make sure you coordinate your move and you start packing. You don't want to get like 2 days before moving day and none of your friends want to help you because their weekend is booked up or whatever it might be. Make sure you coordinate your move in advance, whether you're hiring a service or you're just recruiting friends and family. Make sure you feed them with pizza or sandwiches or something at the end of the day. Anything to get that in line, but you're going to want to get that organized before closing day, or else it's going to be a scramble to move out or move in, whatever is required for the day of the closing. Schedule all of your utilities, so your electric, gas, if you want cable, internet. Make sure that you have that scheduled in advance for the day that you move in. So that's already ready to go. You can pre-schedule that to turn on a certain day. And so I would recommend doing that before closing day as well. You might want to hire a cleaning service. I've had clients who hire a professional cleaning service, or they take a day before they move in after closing date and, deep clean it yourself. Me personally am not going to do that ever. I'm going to hire somebody. That's just a personal preference, but just another thing to think about. If you're in a job situation that they're pretty strict with your time off, or they require, a pretty significant heads up, make sure you're doing that for your closing day. Closings usually happen during the week, during normal business hours, because that's when places are open to be able to do the financing. It'd also be a good idea if you alerted any major accounts that you have. So bank accounts, credit cards, even the post office, if you want to forward your mail. Make sure you give them a heads up that you will be moving and give them the day. And then there's no interruption as you're moving, or, they don't freeze your account or anything like that. Pack a moving day suitcase or box or whatever. Set aside things that are essential for you. Clothes, toothpaste, deodorant, clean underwear, anything you might need. Set those aside so that you don't have the first night in your new home and you can't find your shampoo or your toothpaste and you're digging through boxes and it's stressful. It can already be a stressful process. So if you just have those things set aside, you're going to eliminate a lot of issues so that you can just grab it and you can actually have some normalcy during your move. This is a big one. If you're using a moving company, you are going to want to do a few things on the day of your move to ensure your safety. You need to verify the truck. On your quote, usually they'll give you a verification number. They'll give you the truck number on that quote. Make sure those numbers line up. If the number on the truck and the number on your quote's different, don't let them do anything yet. Call the company, see what's going on. But also, you would think that you don't need to think about something like this, but make sure the name of the company is the name of the company that's on the truck. Make sure those match up as well. There's a lot of scams out there. There's a lot of fraud, a lot of weirdo people. Just make sure you're protecting yourself, because that is something that exists. So make sure you're doing your research and you're not just letting whoever grab your stuff and take off with it. Those are just a few things to think about from, the time that you finish your mortgage application to the actual closing day. And, in between there, it can feel like you're just kind of waiting for closing day to happen. But these are some things that you can make sure that are going to be in check and ready to go for when it's actually time to move. And it's just going to make your process much smoother, simpler, streamlined, and reduce as much stress as possible, which is really kind of my goal for you throughout the entire process. We will see you next week to talk about the final step of the process, which is actually closing and you finally owning a home. So we will see you then.